Hello, let's do Wordle for Friday, November 14th. Let's play. And yesterday the wheel picked grasp. Stay to the end of the solve if you want to follow along. We will pick tomorrow's starting word. All right, there is an R. We could be an ER word. Common letters besides the E. So let's avoid the E for now until we confirm whether or not it's ER. Because I get this question sometimes, why are you avoiding it? Well, I play hard mode style. So for at least for my first 4 guesses, I try to guess what could still be the answer. And if we're ending in ER and we just lock in that ER, then now for the subsequent follow-up guesses, we're limited to what we can use letter-wise. We have to keep using the ER, and that limits our options and limits how much information we get per guess. Often that's called a trap. You get trapped and there's only like two letters to figure out, but there's a gazillion options for them. And there's no good way to get out of that unless you do a filler word. So anyway, with that R, I am always concerned that it's going to be an ER word. So T and L are very high value letters that we might want to get. And if I want to avoid the E, how would I do that? So I can't do the R second, but I could start with R, I suppose. I could start with R, do some kind of vowel, and then like a T, I, L, T, O. These don't really look like words. I mean, rotor is a word, but it repeats the O and the R. That doesn't seem good. I want the N or the L. Is there a word like this? Okay, we don't have to start with the R. We could do something like R. You know what I see? I see curly or burly. C is a better letter than B. It's not perfect, but I don't actually mind that too much. Let's guess curly. I'm sure the bot will have some way better follow-up, but oh my gosh. Okay, that was very lucky. So it's not an ER word. Is it lurid? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Just thinking about starting with LUR, like lurid just pops out. I don't know. Is there another LUR word? I like to think of the options just in case there's like something that separates them better. We could also end with L, an EL, an IL, or an OL. None of those like immediately tell me, hey, that's a word. IL, I'm looking at it again. I think lurid is it, so I'm just going to guess that. Nice, it was lurid. Nice. Okay. Been noticing the words have been a bit more obscure lately, but I think they're just running out of the common ones. Cool. And as long as you read a book every once in a while, you'll learn these words. So that's my recommendation. Or I guess just play a bunch of Wordle variants or Wordle Unlimited so you can learn these words too. Anyway, lurid is like, let's see, how would I define lurid? Like it's kind of like has a negative connotation to it, and kind of like I don't know if sensual is the right word. Let's look it up. Like a lurid fascination might be something you'd say, or a lurid. Anyway, let's just define it. Lurid. Very vivid in color, especially so as to create an unpleasantly harsh or unnatural effect. Lurid food colorings. Of a description presented in vividly shocking or sensational terms. This is probably the definition I was thinking of. Especially giving explicit details of crimes or sexual matters. The more lurid details of the massacre, yeah. So you can have like lurid details, lurid fascination, like your yeah, and so it's like very explicit, I suppose. And it definitely has that negative connotation to it. The example they gave is the more lurid details of the massacre were too frightening for children. But apparently it also can just mean vivid in color. I didn't know that. But like harshly vivid. Still negative. All right. Well, let's spin the wheel and see what we're going to start with tomorrow. I'll shuffle a few times. Let's spin. All right. Which one is it? All right. Tyson Price's suggestion of audio. Tyson is a super supporter and has 5 words on the wheel as a result. Cool. So audio is one of those vowel-heavy words. For some reason, the vowel-heavy words always have a D to go along with them. A DU in audio. I do believe that's one that is one. I do believe that is one that I do in the analysis as well. So it tends not to work very well. there's words it fails on. Anyway, let's check with the bot to see how we did today. Right, so we start with this Wordle Calcle Bot, which is very much better at the game than the official bot, which is why I use it, and it also allows for much more easy analysis. So lurid was our answer. We started with grasp, getting their set R. So it's actually concerned about losing on ER already, I think. We'll see. But I did curly, which worked out really well. I didn't think it was going to be on the list. It's suggesting robed, which is a hard mode filler. By that I mean an ED word's not going to be the answer. And it knows that, but it's still getting us good letters, and it's avoiding that ER to start with. But it's not avoiding the E entirely. But notice none of these end in ER, which gives it a little bit more room to work. The official bot won't care. The official bot probably goes straight to an ER with grasp. But anyway, searching beret, getting the double E just right from the beginning. Birth, remit. I kind of like birth. Merit. I was trying to avoid the E though, which it doesn't think is a necessary thing. I did curly, which worked out extremely well. The only word left on the answer list was lurid, but it could also be lured. Lured, the past tense of to lure. All right, so that was it. And that's why it popped out. It was the only thing I saw. It would go robed. Let's take a look at that. And so robed, it was concerned would lose on foyer. So yeah, it's worried about this ER trap business. So it's exactly what I'm talking about. And then lured or third. So it could get it in 3 or 4. Would have to win a coin flip there. If we don't want to go robed, if we want to go for an actual word, it would go beret here. And from beret, there's still 26 words left. So it's going to go curry, that double R, and now it's only lurid. All right. It's interesting that curry would be favored over curly. Curly is a little bit worse. That's interesting. Very interesting. So that double R is very common in those two spots. Let's check tails, which is its preferred starting word for hard mode. It's gonna with just the L, it's gonna go could. And then it's only lurid from there. All right, lurid's kind of a strange formation of letters, so that's probably why. We can also check steal, which is a tails anagram. With just the L, it goes folic. And now we've got lipid or livid. So there's 3 answers left, lipid, livid, or lurid. And notice this is what I'm talking about. If you know that those are the 3 left, you want to go for lipid or livid, because lurid's not going to separate those. And so if you go lurid and it's not the answer, you still have to coin flip on lipid, livid. But if you go like lipid, then now there's not going to be a coin flip, because either it's going to be livid or lurid, and this tells the difference between them. It can't be livid now because this I is gray. All right, a D. We get the D, so it's going to be very helpful. It could get it in 2. It's tied for best. If it loses the coin flip, it gets it in 3. So very, very lucky there. There were only 8 answers left though. Cupid, druid, fluid, humid, lucid, lurid, squid, and undid. Plus 27 unlikelies. Audio will probably be similar. Audio is even better. There's only 4 words left. Cupid, humid, lucid, and lurid. But it says go lucid, because lucid will tell you whether it's these other 3 if it wasn't lucid. The C gets you Cupid. If it's all green except the C, then it's lurid, and otherwise it's humid. So it goes lucid and then it gets lurid in 3. All right. Trace tries to get it in 2. Seems to fail most of the time, but it's very hard to get it in 2. It goes round with that R, which does not get it in 2, but it does get it in 3. And then finally, place is what the official hard mode bot starts with, for whatever reason. From place, we do a hard mode filler of guilds. If we weren't doing a hard mode filler, we go, ooh, actually interesting. In Ultra, it's a little different. But if we would go lurid, but it's going to go guilds here. And then doily or drill or idyll. Interesting. Any of those will tell you the answer next. The reason I know that is because it's under 2 guesses left. If it's under 2 guesses left, then that means we're guaranteed to get it in the next guess, if we don't get it right away. It's interesting, though, that lurid is here, the first bold word in hard mode, but in ultra mode, it's actually still going for a filler of gulfs. All right. Anyway, Ultra mode, you have to only guess things that could still be the answer. In hard mode, you're allowed to do like use the L in the same spot second, for example, if you need to, or reuse grays, which gives you a lot more opportunities. The ultra mode is not actually in the game. So this is the solve that this bot does. I doubt it matches the solve that the official one does, but we're about to check. All right, so how did people do? I think lurid is one of those words that some people are like, I don't know that word. So we're going to have some failures because of that, I think. 89 skill. It liked my guesses well enough. 58 luck, 3 steps. All right. It's okay with grasp. It says it was unlucky today. It didn't like curly that much. Neither did my bot. It would have gone core. Just like I said, it would walk straight into that ER trap. Not the greatest idea. Core, toner, retro. Doubling up the R on guess 2. That's, I guess since we know there's an R, it's not that bad. Metro. It likes retro better than metro, interestingly. It has a more naive idea of this. There's 132 other readers who started with grasp, so it's popular beyond people following along with me. Round is the most common follow-up after grasp. Or root, or toner, flirt, flower, chore, churn, cover, core. I'm the only one who did curly. No one did corer. I remember when that was the answer. I don't know why you'd guess corer knowing it was the answer before. Not everyone knows it was, though. All right. And it does place dills lurid. It's that double L right away. 66 luck. All right. We've got 0.2% people starting with lurid. Congrats. Yeah, and it's greater than 99% solve rate. People who are losing just don't know the word. Murid. Losing on lucid. Yeah, that's a very similar word. Just the R and the C are swapped. Lurgy. Lurks. Lurch. Lyric. I'd love to be able to click these and see what their game looked like. But, I mean, these might be single people losing on these. All right. Well, how'd you do? And that is it for Wordle. If you would like to watch the New York Times games, you can click at the end of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.